Enik and Einkk are two of the most advanced AIs in the world of Nikke. Enik, as you may already know, is the AI in charge of managing the Ark. Her main directive is to ensure the survival of humanity and the Ark by creating countermeasures for any and all scenarios that could lead to the total annihilation of the entire human race. These countermeasures is the reason why the Ark is so quick to respond when the Raptors invaded in Chapter 22, and it's because Enik already had a countermeasure prepared for this specific scenario before it even happened. And of course, it's also part of Enik's duties to pass down judgment to anyone who commits acts that could put humanity and the Ark's survival at risk. Einkk, on the other hand, is the AI responsible for creating this simulation room, which she based on the game created by Snow White 100 years ago titled Memory of the Goddess, or MOG for short, which, as you may already know, is the minigame for the Red Ash event.
I created the simulation room for fun after seeing a game made by a certain Nikke. I never expected that I would still be here.
Now, it was also revealed in the Ice Dragon Saga event that Einkk created a simulation room MK2, and in this version, she creates fully little planetary scale simulations inside the virtual world based solely on information from a Nikke snip, which is basically like those full dive VR games from animes like SAO or Shangri-La Frontier. And of course, as their creator, Einkk is also the one responsible for managing both simulation rooms. So, unlike Enik, who we know was specifically created for the sole purpose of managing and protecting the Ark, managing the simulation room is more of a hobby for Einkk. It's her passion project. It's something that she decided that she wanted to do. And I find this rather interesting because this implies that the central government are allowing Einkk to do whatever she wants and are more than happy to grant approval to her projects. And I think we can agree that it's really weird that the central government isn't giving any specific task to one of the most advanced AIs in the Ark. I mean, Einkk herself revealed that the reason why she created both simulation rooms is because she was bored and wanted to have fun. Meaning that she'd literally have nothing to do if she didn't came up with her own projects. And so, out of curiosity, I decided to take a closer look on the things we know about Einkk. And if you want to know more about her, then there's only one place for you to go. And it's the game that inspired her to create this simulation room, Memory of the Goddess. Because in case you don't know, Einkk appears in the hidden ending of MOG. Now in this scene, we are introduced to a glitchy Einkk. Now, she didn't really give us her name in the cutscene, but the green hair and her talking about being inspired by MOG to create what she will call the simulation room is all we need to know that she is indeed Einkk. Anyway, Einkk reveals some very interesting but redacted details about her. Because here she reveals that she's about 20 years old and that she's not defined yet, that she's still incomplete because her development was halted due to the lack of resources. Which might explain why she's glitching in the scene unlike her current self in the Ark 100 years later. But here comes the interesting part, because Einkk then reveals that she's supposed to be the main AI for Redacted. Now at first I thought that maybe what she said here is that she's meant to be the main AI for the Ark. And this made sense to me because Einkk is Enik's younger sister, so it's possible that she is a more advanced version of Enik, so maybe she's meant to replace Enik in the future. However, it's already been 100 years ever since that scene from MOG, and Einkk is no longer glitching, but Enik is still the one that's currently managing the Ark. And even if Einkk's development is still incomplete, then couldn't they just have her assist Enik with the management of the Ark instead of simply letting her get bored inside the simulation room? Basically have her do what Protocol does for Enik. But they're obviously not doing that. So this made me consider the possibility that maybe instead of the Ark, Einkk was supposed to be the main AI for something else. Something that is not the Ark but is similar in a way. And currently there's only one place that could truly be considered as somewhat similar to the Ark. It's the Spacelift. And the reason why I say this is because we know from the Footstep, Walker and Run event that the Spacelift and the Ark are each being powered by ultra-massive cores. Deep even revealed that the cores that powers both structures are a pair, and that destroying one core will result in the destruction of the other.
The ultra-massive core is part of a pair. If one breaks, the other will break as well. Right now, they are maintaining a stable resonance with one another from a distance.
Why does that matter? Who cares if they both break?
The other core is inside the Ark. It is being used as the Ark's power source.
So you're saying...
If you destroy this core, the Ark's core will be destroyed as well. All those people will be trapped underground. All of their infrastructure will cease to function in an instant. They will be doomed to die. Humanity will be wiped out.
And I have a feeling that the existence of the twin cores and there being two super AIs is not a coincidence, especially when said AIs are siblings. I mean, we've already discussed the possibility of humans being involved in the creation of the Raptors, and the fact that the facility underneath the Spacelift where the leap's power source is located was described by Red Hood to not appear like it was created by the Raptors suggests that the lift was probably created by humans as well. And if true, then it's possible that the AI sisters were created to be the main AI of each of these massive structures. That's why there's two of them. But if that's the case, then why is Einkk currently in the Ark? Why isn't she at the Spacelift? And this is actually the one question that prevented me from uploading this video a lot sooner, because I have a theory on this but not enough evidence to support it. But that is until the release of the Romantic Valentine event, because it was revealed in this event that manager Sweet Johnny, who is an AI from a factory on the surface, was able to sneak into the Ark by uploading his consciousness into a mass-produced Nikke's phone, and uploading her consciousness into smaller devices is an easy feat for Einkk, because that's exactly what she did in MOG. She uploaded her consciousness into the game after it caught her attention. So it's possible that what happened is Einkk was in the Spacelift or the space station during the start of Red Ash, but when the Goddess Squad launched their operation at the lift, MOG caught her attention and so she decided to sneak inside the game while the Goddess Squad are retreating. And when she left MOG, the Goddess Squad was already stationed at the entrance of the Ark, so the Ark probably caught her attention and so she went there and decided to stay. Oh, and by the way, this isn't the only time that she did something like this, because we saw her do it again in one of the arcades in the Golden Coin Rush event. And I'm guessing that the Deep decided to just let her stay in the Ark because if she returned to the lift, then she'll probably just get bored again and wander up somewhere. So it's much better to have her stay at a place where they can see her. And even then, she still sneaks into casinos to have fun. However, we know that when Manager Sweet uploaded his consciousness into the phone, the only parts of him that he was able to transfer is his personality data and his main computation system. The vast amount of data that he has was left in the factory where he's originally from. So it's possible that this is also the case with Einkk, that the only parts of her that she uploaded into MOG and then into the Ark was her personality data as well as her computation system. So if Einkk is really the main AI of the lift, then the rest of her data was probably left in the underground facility or at the space station. And maybe this is the reason why there are redacted parts in Einkk's dialogue in MOG, and it's because she no longer has access to the information that she's trying to share after separating herself from her main system. Just like how Manager Sweet was unable to tell us what he intends to do in the Ark due to him being separated from his main system. So a possible reason why the Solar Government is simply allowing Einkk to do whatever she wants instead of making full use of her is because they can't fully utilize her without her main system that is again might be located at the lift or at the station. And speaking of the space station, in the About the World PV of the game, there's this one scene where they showed us this undefined AI girl inside the station. So what if this AI is actually Einkk during the early stages of her development, back when humanity is still in control of the lift? Now, many people, including myself, assume that this AI from the PV is the first Raptor Queen, or that at the very least, she plays an important role for the Raptor side. That's why she's at the station where the Raptors are being manufactured. And honestly, if Einkk was indeed created to be the main AI of the lift and the station, then I wouldn't be surprised if she's meant to be the main AI of the Raptors as well. And perhaps the halting of her development is the reason why humanity lost control over the Raptors if they were indeed the ones who created them. And there are a few things that could potentially link Einkk to the Raptors. First is the simulation room, because we know that Einkk is responsible for commanding the Raptor side in these training simulations, so this could be a hint that she's actually designed to take command over the Raptors, and she even gets really frustrated whenever her side is losing. Now the second thing that could link her to the Raptors can be found in MOG, because in Einkk's cutscene in the minigame, she told us that she left a gift inside the game, which I assume is these simulation room stages for obvious reasons. And what's interesting about this is that clearing the stage 2 of the simulation room is the requirement to unlock a cutscene from MOG that is also labeled as unknown data. And this cutscene is none other than Mirror Mirror. Now, in case you don't know, Mirror Mirror is a cutscene that shows us how the corruption tried to trick Cinderella into believing that her true mission is to serve the Raptor Queen, and it was confirmed in the Old Tales event that Mirror Mirror is a real scene that happened inside Cinderella's mind. So the question here is, how did this scene ended up inside MOG? Well, there are only two individuals that could have put this inside the game, and it's either Snow White or Einkk. And obviously, there's no way for Snow White to have access to this information, so by process of elimination, that leaves us with Einkk as the one responsible for putting this inside the game. Also, this is just something that I've discovered while making this video, but if you go frame by frame in Mirror Mirror, you'll discover that Einkk appears in the very first frame of the cutscene, right on the very spot where Cinderella appears. And don't take my word for it, you can check it for yourself if you want to. Anyway, I think we can agree that Einkk appearing in Mirror Mirror is enough proof that she's the one to put it in MOG. However, the question that remains is, how did she gain access to information about an event that occurred inside a Heretic's mind? Because this should be impossible unless she has access to Cindy's nymph. And remember, the first thing that the researchers did to Cindy after she was taken to the Heretic lab was inject her with Vapouse, which destroyed her nymph. So the only time that Einkk could have obtained this information is back when Cinderella is still Anachiro. And I doubt that an AI from the Ark, no matter how advanced, can obtain this kind of information for very obvious reasons. But if Einkk is the main AI of the lift, and therefore the Raptors, then that could grant her access to Cinderella's nymph, which explains how she was able to obtain Mirror Mirror. Now, just to be clear, I'm not suggesting that Einkk is our enemy or anything like that. It's possible, but I don't think that her potential connection to the Raptors is enough evidence to come to that conclusion. Because again, it's possible that she was indeed created to control the Raptors, but when her development was halted, she became unable to fulfill her role, and that's the reason why the Raptors turned against humanity. And maybe the real reason why the higher-ups are allowing her to continue operating the simulation room is because they are hoping that it's going to help her improve her ability to control the Raptors. So all I'm saying is that maybe she's going to play a bigger role in the future, especially in the upcoming war against the Raptors. Anyway, there's still a lot of things to discuss about Einkk, like the possibility of her being the girl from the Commander's past, or some other things based on the limited information we know about her. But I want to save those for another video. But before we end the video, I want to thank Kuro Archive for helping me on this theory because he really helped me a lot by sharing his own ideas about this topic. So thank you so much, man. And with that, thanks for watching and see you on the next video.